Welcome to For the Record with Bob Shrauger. Welcome to For the Record. I'm Bob Shrauger, your host. On this show, we look at topics that matter to you, to me, to our families, to our community, and often our discussion involves topics that are significant to our state, our nation, and even have global implications. Well, today our guests are going to bring us through that whole spectrum of geography from here immediately in Muskegon to farther dimensions. And we're also going to look at that piece of life that is music that can mean so much, that can reach the feelings and the intellect all at the same time and in wonderful proportions. So our guests today, I welcome Angie Matson.
Thank you.
And Jeff Mendel. And thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Well, if I can start with ladies first, Jeff, would that be all right?
That's totally fine.
Okay. I just want to ask Angie. Many people in Muskegon are going to know you already, and but would you tell us about your background? Just bring us up to date on who Angie Matson is and where you're living and what you're doing and some of that.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm born and raised in Muskegon, Norton Shores. Actually, is where I went to high school. I went to high school in Mona Shores, and I went to Muskegon Community College, went to Grand Valley, and then decided to pursue a career in music. Moved out to Los Angeles, where I live now, and that's what I'm doing. And that's sort of the quick summary.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's quick. Let me go. Let me go back to. Let's go back in time.
Okay.
In a couple ways. One is musically and one is educationally.
Okay.
You went to Muskegon after graduating from high school, Norton Shores?
Mona Shores,
Mona
yeah.
Shores, I'm sorry, Mona Shores High School. Then you went to Muskegon Community College.
Yep.
What did you study at Muskegon Community?
Well, I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly, so that's why I thought Muskegon Community would be a good place to start. I studied, first I thought I was going to do musical theater. And so I started in that a little bit. Then
when you say musical theater, what does that mean for people like me who are not necessarily so gifted and maybe somebody else? What does musical theater mean?
It means like, for example, I was in the musical Hair at Muskegon Community College. So it's like, you study theater and dance and voice and all the performing arts really kind of rolled into one.
Right. Okay. All right. So you did. That was one of your interests at one point.
Right.
That was where you started. Okay.
And then I sort of fell in love with the science classes and the math classes, and then I thought I wanted to be an engineer instead.
That all fits, doesn't it? From music to engineering.
Yeah.
In a way, it does. The math and music.
I think so. In some strange way, I think it does.
Okay. So then you wanted to be an engineer, and this was going through your mind at Muskegon Community College. Okay.
I mean, I had about 10 different careers while I was in Muskegon Community that I wanted to do.
Not uncommon, I think. Yeah.
And so, I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts, Associate of Arts, and then I got into Grand Valley State. And there I still started with math and science classes, but I sort of veered towards biology. And then I got my degree there in aquatic biology and fisheries management.
Nice. Yeah. What a wonderful degree.
Yeah.
So you really made the transition from the arts to the sciences.
I did, yeah.
And so biology, with all that we enjoy here in Michigan and other places in the nation and the world, but in Michigan with all of our conservation systems, what an important degree. So does that still tempt you today? Even so, are you tempted at all to go into? Like, would you be interested in limnology, the study of lakes?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lake systems and watersheds and so on. That's still an interest for you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, on frustrating days, I think, I'll just get on Craigslist and find a job, like studying fish or working at a fishery in Alaska or something instead, because, it gets frustrating in Los Angeles sometimes.
Well, I'm sure it gets frustrating. I'm sure that music has its demands, because you're both a singer and a guitarist, right? And a songwriter. So, so maybe when we see people performing, we see the beauty and art and pleasure of what they can produce, what you can produce. And so we don't see the times maybe backstage or after hours when you're tired and frustrated, huh? Yeah. So, okay, so that's what you did. So then you finish up, you got a bachelor's degree in biology. And then what, so what happened then? When did you finish up at, is it unfair to ask you this? When did you get your degree?
In 98.
In 98, okay. Then what happened?
Then I got a modeling contract and I moved to Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You look like you could be a model right now.
Oh, thank you.
So you got a model?
I know, that was strange and like out of nowhere.
In Japan?
In Tokyo, yeah. So I moved there.
My gosh.
And because I was, it's a fun job. I could either go to Japan and be a fashion model, which sounded like a dream, or I could count plankton for, minimum wage.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I understand. Right. And so you chose the modeling job.
I did.
And so what was it like being in Japan? I mean, did you learn did you know a foreign language? Have you taken
I knew little bits and pieces, and Japanese, it's harder because you can't sound out the words, So I learned a few basics, and it was great. I was there by myself. There was no other Americans in the agency or anything, and it was a really adventurous experience.
I would think so.
But
But you were able to make a living, pay for your expenses. So so that was probably your first real job out of college then.
Out of college, yeah. I guess it was.
And how long did you stay in Japan? How long were you a model?
Just for 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Then I moved to Florida.
Okay. So why did you go to Florida?
Because I was sick of the winter.
Well, for sure, this past winter you would. I could understand.
Gosh,
yeah, you heard about that.
I was here for Christmas, and it was horrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so all right, and you went to Florida. And did that get warm in the summer?
Yes, but there's rainstorms all the time that cool it off. So that's nice.
Yeah. Did you work? What did you do while you were in Florida?
I did some more modeling, and then I also worked helping people plan sailboat charters for a place called the Moorings. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, the Moorings. What part of Florida?
I lived in St. Petersburg,
Okay.
and that was in Clearwater, and then I lived on a sailboat while I was there, too. So it's a whole sailing world.
Yeah. Okay, so Florida, and then where did you go?
Then I moved on to the sailboat. My ex and I moved on to the sailboat, and we sailed, we took a year off and sailed almost to South America.
Wow. Fascinating.
We sold everything and just left.
Now you're in California.
Now I'm in California.
And so how did you happen to go to California?
Because I wanted to go to Hollywood.
Because? Why did you want to go? I mean, okay, you wanted to go to Hollywood. Because?
Because I wanted to be a successful artist. Recording artist, yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's living in a big city like that where everything's happening and where all the, people are and the companies are that can help you make that happen. You kind of have to be in a big city like New York or LA, but not so much anymore, really, because of the internet and everything.
Right. Could happen anywhere. But at that point, maybe even still more so.
Yeah, definitely still a little bit now because you can play, concerts there where people can see you and that kind of thing.
Right.